out. What's going
Let's
on,
go.
everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Deadhead Podcast, episode 35. 5 episodes away from episode 40. We are so close to getting to 50. It's just,
Oh,
man, I
can't
mean, we're
wait.
15 episodes away. It's well, after this one, 14 episodes away.
Right.
So,
You can imagine how good episode 50 will be.
yeah. So we are making our way over there. Hope everybody's having a good day today. I have been busy. I know Jan's been busy playing a lot of Spider-Man and doing everything he's
Yeah.
doing. I know it's super late for him over there, getting kind of late for him over there. So we want to. We're glad. I'm sorry we had to schedule this at a later time. We were going to do this on Sunday like usual, but we had some scheduling conflicts, had some things come up. But we're here to talk about Spider-Man 2, which is honestly really weird to say because we've been, this game was announced and then, it's crazy that we're finally here a few days after launch. And me and Jan are in very different places in the game. So, matter of fact, Jan, I'll let you have the floor in a minute. Jan's actually done with the game.
Yep.
This is the first impressions, but Jan's finished with the game. I'm like 5 to 7 hours into the main story. I've done a lot of side stuff, but really like 5 to 7 hours. Like, all right, let me put it to you this way, Jan, just so we have an idea of how far we can go into the story. I
Mhm.
literally just got to the first MJ mission. So I'm playing as
Oh,
MJ for the
damn.
first time. So I'm still like super early on. I haven't gotten the black suit. That's not a spoiler, by the way. We know Spider-Man's obviously going to get the black suit at some point. I'm not at that
So,
point.
so wait. I didn't even remember like when is the first MJ section. Honestly, like I don't even remember like the context of it.
Uh, so all right, let me think of it this way. So I'm literally right after the. All right, so you're playing as Miles, and you go to visit your mom at her office, and
All
she
right.
wants you to go down to this art gallery to try to help
Yes.
with whatever. So
Yes. Yes. Yes.
it's like shortly after that. It's not like too far. I would say maybe like
Okay.
the next
Okay.
mission
You're
or
still
so.
like you're still like in the first act. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Okay. I get it.
yeah. So like Harry is like still like fresh, and everybody's super excited to see him. And you
Uh
just found out that Harry has the symbiote, and so he's, you know, so spoiler warning, by the way. I would hope you guys would know that, but
Well, I
Harry
mean,
has the symbiote abilities. He's like helping you out in one mission. You know what I'm talking about? The very first mission where he's helping you out,
yep.
you and
Yep.
Harry. Yeah, so
He has
that's
like the
about.
ugliest suit.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of the Spider Monkey a little bit. The Spider Monkey from the MCU, Tom Holland's suit. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
It's in Spider-Man: Far From Home. His suit, the
Okay.
Spider Monkey suit. It's the black suit that looks kind of tactical. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh right, yeah, right.
Yeah,
I guess.
it's uglier, but it kind of has that same kind of look.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's not the same, but it kind of has that same vibe to it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It looks way too plasticky.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was my first impression of it. It looked like something like a cheap tactical gear, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like the
yeah.
one you'd see on a toy on a GI Joe or something.
Yeah, Spider-Man: Far From Home looks like way better, but it kind of has that same kind of look to it.
Yeah.
That's what I
Mm.
thought of. So but anyway, so without too much introductions, we'll kind of get this thing rolling. So I'm still fairly early on. I have not had a lot of time to play this game at all. I've been so busy. But I do plan to do a review for the channel hopefully this week to do like not like a review, but like a follow up to this episode. Yeah, I'm gonna try to play some more of it, but I think I got a pretty good idea of what we're getting here. I haven't tried the Venom ability, so Jan's gonna have to elaborate a little bit more on that. But yeah, with that being said, Jan, I know you said before the show, just let everybody know. I know Jan was saying he was a little bit tired, so how about you wake up a little bit and you
Oh, okay.
you give us the floor. Let us know, what do you think about Spider-Man 2 now that you're finished with the game?
All right. As a preface, when Dylan says finished, he means like 100%, and
Mhm.
just with the story. That's what. Yeah, like done everything you could, right? Except play on ultimate difficulty, which is like one that you unlock after you beat the game.
Oh, okay.
So you got amazing, then you got spectacular, which is kind of hard, and this is what I played on. actually.
Wait a
Fun
minute, real quick. Actually, you just brought that up. So real quick, like before you get into it, so you played on
Uh-huh.
spectacular. You played on spectacular mode.
Yes,
Okay, me too.
all
Me
the way
too.
through. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
How about this? Before you, I meant to ask you this before that. I apologize. Did you change anything in your accessibility options, like web swinging? What do you have your web swinging? Do you have swinging assist on or no swinging assist? Because I
Yeah, I
have
have
no.
it cranked. I have it cranked to 10.
Oh, do you? Oh,
Oh
you
yeah, it
pussy.
cranked that shit. Well, you know what it is? Okay, you know what it is that I didn't even like know that was there, right?
Yeah.
Until I saw, I think I saw like an IGN video or something like that on Instagram that discussed it, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
like showcasing the differences between having swing assist on or off,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I just found, and that's how I found out that there's a swing assist
Yeah.
a toggle. But here's the thing: by the time I figured it out that was a thing, I was already like way too spoiled. I was way too spoiled by the swing assist, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I didn't feel like kind of disrupt the pace
Yeah.
of my gameplay by having to learn this whole thing.
Yeah.
Whole only method. So I think that I'll reserve that to like a further playthrough,
Yeah.
like the ultimate playthrough
Dude, I'm
with swing
telling you,
assist
like
off.
playing with the swing assist off is like it doesn't seem like it's a big thing, but it's a complete game changer because like
Mhm.
one thing I noticed about the original, and again, we'll get into all this stuff, but I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just had to know because I wanted to ask you that through like a personal message, but I was like, let me wait until we get on the show. But it really changes web swinging because one thing I felt in the original, like in Spider-Man 2018, was that the
Mhm.
swinging, it almost like there almost was like a barrier between like like when you do like a dive off a building and you would
Mhm.
swing close to like the top of the cars. It's almost like there was like a cushion there that wouldn't let
Mhm.
you
Right.
go past there. With the swing assist off, dude, if
Yeah,
you
you're
fuck up
splat.
one time, you're gonna hit the ground. And honestly, it kind of makes you like really you get skilled at the swinging because you have to be more decisive on okay, where do I web next? Where do I swing next? Do I glide here? Do I launch myself up in the air to give myself a little bit more like momentum? It kind of adds to the gameplay. And honestly, like to me, like this is the best. I just want to say this and I'll let you go. This is some of the best web swinging I've ever, I guess, because like the challenge of like trying to get from point A
Mhm.
to point B and knowing that if I screw up, I'm going to smack the side of a building and die. I guess gives me a little bit more of like stakes, I guess. Like, because I've died a lot in this game so far. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like,
Would you
I've
have
died.
fall damage on?
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to make it difficult, man. I want to have a hard time but a fun time though. Not like to the point where it seems like bullshit, but like
Yeah, no,
it
frustrating.
it just kind of adds to the gameplay where it's like almost where you have to be a bit more strategic on how do you get around the city that I really really like. And I just so I recommend it if you do an ultimate playthrough, you got to do that. I think that's the way to play.
Oh no, I'll probably agree on you once I try it because it kind of seems to adhere to my philosophy of things that, as you said, the swinging was more satisfying, more fun by the end. It's because you actually were thinking what you were doing, right? You understood, you were forced to understand the mechanics of it on a bit more, on a deeper level,
Mm-hmm.
and it made you appreciate it more.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's a lot of people, who defend harder difficulty modes in video games say that having a deeper knowledge of the mechanics makes you appreciate it more. And unless you're forced to learn them, by hitting like a skill wall or whatever they call it,
Mm-hmm.
you're never gonna do it, right? You're just gonna keep mashing buttons until something works.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, what you got, man? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. So
Hmm.
what did you think about Spider-Man 2?
Okay, so it's completely good. Feel free to interrupt whenever.
Okay.
Uh, I like it. That's my bottom line. So for anyone who was only wanted to hear that, you can go home now. I give it a thumbs up out of 10. Uh, I think that it's the same. They're the same writers for the story. So the story, like the dialogues,
Mhm.
the way these characters have been handled, in a more modern light and a more different light, is all handled perfectly. even in like the first act, the one you're playing through, in which this pace is a bit sluggish. It's a bit, it takes a bit to get to the main part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even in those moments, which did feel a bit sluggish, I was still really enjoying the cutscenes just because of the great screenplay, the great screenwriting. So expect that. It even made me do it. We have to talk about it. I started to like stop. I stopped hating the new face. Honestly, I learned like I don't like it. I don't prefer it.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I can accept Peter Parker looking like that.
Yeah, it's growing on me. It looks more natural in this game. It feels like it. It feels like it makes more sense in this than it does in the remaster. I don't know. It's weird, but I know what you mean.
Well, I imagine that since this game was like all the cutscenes and animations have been designed around this face.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it probably looks a bit better. No, the one thing that I could not accept with the old face, besides like not like, I mean, I couldn't accept about the new face when I saw it in the remastered. Okay, well, I mean, you have like the initial shock of it, looking clearly worse. But after, it wasn't even that. It was the fact that certain animations, when it came to like expressions, just didn't translate that well on that new face. Like the very final scene, which is just a tearjerker. I myself must have cried a few times every time I look at it, and his face is just unfazed. Like I looked side by side the two faces, how they're animated in this moment of great pain, right? And the new face is just a bit bland. It really doesn't convey much. So that was a reason why I don't like it. And yeah, they did fix it here.
Yeah.
So there's that. Otherwise, yeah, I like the look of all the characters, old and new. They're not great, but I appreciate them. What else is there? The music.
Dude,
I mean, there's not much.
Black Cat, dude. Black Cat.
Oh, there's a special track during that one. I didn't pay attention to that.
What?
Maybe
What was
I
that?
forgot.
Huh?
Is there like a special music track during that battle?
No. Black Cat, man. Black Cat's
just
model
the
is
character in itself.
Yeah. They did not like a lot of people were saying that MJ, she looks quite a bit different. Just on the character models for a second, because you were talking about that, and it just made me think of it. But like with they were saying that MJ's character model was like a downgrade compared to the first model.
Yeah, she got uglier, right?
And I'm like, she got uglier. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, man. I think it's really just the way her hair is, to be honest with you. Because in the remaster, she has like a ponytail, and this one her hair's down. So I don't know, man. It's
well, I mean, they responded to that. They said that they did make a new model, but it's based on the same actress that they based the old model on. So if anything's changed, it's the actress. So it'd be the same as complaining about how a certain actor's changed in a sequel to a movie, right?
Yeah,
like you can do that. So yeah, that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
she looks good enough.
Yeah, sure.
Gameplay wise, I mean, it's pretty much this very similar gameplay to the other two games. There's not much to say. They didn't change anything about the core mechanics. They just added a lot of stuff. They added the mid-air dodge. Mid-air dodge was fantastic. They added, apart from the venomous power of Miles, you got the iron arm techniques for Peter, and later on the symbiote powers. So just add on top of that what they've built. It's kind of like from that point, from that perspective, is more of it will look like more of an update than like sequel material, which is fine because the comic was perfect enough. It didn't need to be tweaked.
Right.
Excuse me. And so yeah, there's that. I love how much faster the web slinging is. You can feel now that you can. I'm guessing the console can load things faster. It lets you go lightning speed. Is great.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so just stop on that for a second. Like, it was kind of an adjustment for me personally when I first started the game, and it was like
Mhm.
really like that first sequence where, again, spoiler warning if you don't know already, you freaking assholes.
Fight the
Anyway,
guy.
so when so Peter and Miles they jump off the building. They're going to find Sandman because you see all this sand everywhere. They go to chase him down. You're going through the city, and it's an awesome scene because you're playing as Peter and you can see Miles swinging like not that far from you, and it's like unreal
Mhm.
because I'm like holy shit, like this two freaking Spider-Man in
Mhm.
like one shot, and it's pretty awesome. Like you only see that in movies, you don't really see that much
Yeah.
in games. So
But we're
it
starting to get used to it little by little.
yeah
About like
yeah.
having two Spider-Man or more than one Spider-Man.
Yeah. And so like that scene where you're swinging, I almost felt it was a little too fast at first, because
Uh,
I was not one of those like I don't know how you were, but in the 2018, I almost said Halloween 2018, Jesus Christ. It's Spider-Man 2018 and the Miles Morales. I thought the web swinging was almost like perfect speed. Like it was fast
mhm.
enough, but it wasn't like ridiculous, like kind of like Sunset Overdrive. Did you ever play that? That was a game by
I know
Insomniac.
what you mean. Yeah.
Well, if you saw the movement in that, it was like really fast. Like you're grinding on buildings and grinding on guardrails, and I mean you're flying everywhere. I don't really need that much. Like in some of these like intense chase scenes, maybe that would be really cool. But like when I'm just swinging through the city, I'm fine with it going a bit slower. So at first I was like, but then, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the haptics. I started feeling the haptics in the controller, and I was like,
Oh my God, the day has come.
I'm like, all right, yeah, what I mean, I
Mhm.
can vibe with this, what I'm saying. So anyway, but I didn't mean to stop you, but I just thought the web swinging, I like. It took me a while to really like the faster web swinging, but I really like
Mhm.
it. I dig it.
Awesome. Yeah, my verdict on that is web slinging good. Now you can fly, so even gooder. Uh, and I think that's it.
I know it's hard to talk about it, man, because you freaking
Yeah.
finished the game.
Well, I mean, should I be ashamed of it? I tried to prepare myself. I did it for the
Yeah,
show, by the way.
yeah, I did it for the
Otherwise, I
show.
wouldn't.
I did it
Yeah, I
for I
wouldn't
did
have
it for the
otherwise.
gram. I did it for the gram.
Yeah, exactly. I did it to to please you, right? I did it to,
Hey, come on, man.
and
Listen,
now you're over here just
I
kind of
said
shitting on it.
I said first impressions, not full review.
Well, finishing the game once is a first
Yeah,
impression. We
yeah.
talked about this. You need to finish a game
I
multiple
know.
times.
I know, man. We're gonna have to. We'll talk about it. Obviously after
All
the show
right.
and all. But we'll have to maybe. Well, we were already planning on doing a first impressions and a review anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe if you want to play it through again, I should have it finished by then, and we'll come back and do more spoilers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it works.
I feel like this is a lot. I mean, look, I don't know what happens. I know there's a lot that happens in this game, so we'll have plenty to talk
Yeah,
about for as far as the story goes.
especially to Peter.
But yeah, but anyway, so overall, before I really get into some of the stuff I've seen so far, it was an enjoyable experience, and you really liked the game. Obviously, you beat it this fast, so I would say you really liked the game.
Yeah, I like that a lot. No, it's really fun. Oh, and one last thing, the various mini games, the various side tasks you get to do around the city, huge improvement over the first game. Whaley Stadium, there's a lot of variety. There's not too many of each kind. There's like what most at most 7, 8,
Mm-hmm.
like 8 to 9, 8 to 10 for every collectible, which is perfect amount.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all different. They're all varied,
Yeah,
and none of them blend together.
yeah,
So they, I'm sorry, and they nailed it on this one. I saw a few people complaining about the length of the game, or the length of 100%ing it, and I don't understand that. Like honestly, don't you prefer quality over quantity?
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Well, that's what I think is the big argument, right? Like in today's age, and we've had this conversation a bunch of times, and I think me and you will both say quality over quantity a million
mhm.
times over. So, but I don't know why people are bitching either. I mean, what did you expect? I mean, look, Halloween, fuck, Spider-Man 2018. Why do I keep fucking doing that? Spider-Man 2018. that game wasn't that long anyway. What is it, like 18 to 23 hours,
No,
something like that?
yeah, story-wise, it's the same. I think it's mostly about the 100%.
Oh, okay.
Or
Yeah.
maybe it was a story too, but I think that in 2018 the standard price for video games was a bit lower, so now people are finding like a new reason to bitch again. Like for $10 more, I want 10 game more. I don't know.
But see, this is the same. These are the same motherfuckers though that'll buy Call of Duty every fucking year, the same damn game over and over again.
Or every FIFA.
Dude, every Madden, 2K, like man, shut the. Anyway, all right. So
Or even better, I don't know if you remember, but the first game was heavily criticized about how monotonous the gameplay gets due to lack of variety and the mini games. So whatever they do, you don't remember that?
what did they say that about? Did they say about Spider-Man 2?
The first game. No,
Oh, for the first game. For first game.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sorry, I should have clarified that. Yeah, for the first game, people complained a lot about that, and now they worked on it. I didn't like this year. Like, damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Dude, I've seen so many stupid videos. I saw one video that like I wish I knew who this person was. I should have called him out on Twitter, but I'm not that kind of guy. But someone had literally like, that sequence where in the beginning where Peter, I say you, but Peter and Harry, they get on their bikes and they ride down the road.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Well,
yeah, of course.
This whoever was playing the game got off the beaten path with Peter on the bike and went onto some train tracks. And the bike was like merging into the train. It was like, you know what I mean? Like it was kind of like going through the train.
Okay, it was like clipping. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. And people were complaining. Like he put on Twitter and said something about, yeah, you said this game is polished, but you see this bike clipping through a train. I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Then I seen another person bitching. Then I saw another person bitching about, how you remember in Spider-Man 2018, I almost said Halloween again. Spider-Man 2018. Do you know when those little subway stations that you go down, you can fast travel that way? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you go down into. Well, okay, in this game, I don't know if you tried that or not, but in this game, if you go down the stairs to get on a train, you'll turn right back around. You'll turn right back around. Like you can't even do that.
Because you're like exiting game area or
right.
something.
And people were bitching about that. Like, I can't ride a train. Why the fuck would you want to ride a train? I don't understand. It's so stupid. Like, and there was another complaint. Look, another complaint is that somewhere like in like where's Miles from? Where's Miles
Harlem.
from? Harlem. That's it.
Harlem.
There's some kind of hot dog stand that this person knows about in Harlem, and it was mad that the exact hot dog stand that they were looking for is in the game, but you can't buy a hot dog from there.
Oh, so like it's not enough that there's like a hot dog model there.
Yeah, you can't buy a hot dog. That is the dumbest shit ever. What do you think? Is this like New York Simulator or is this fucking Spider-Man? That's so stupid, man. I just
okay. I don't understand the fixation to like a simple animation.
I just don't understand. I don't get it. It's so dumb. At least have some real criticisms on the game. Okay, let's say if you think the combat's not as good, or the and another thing too. Why were they? Okay, I know that some parts of this game is a beautiful game for the most part, but there are some NPCs that don't look great. But like that's just what I mean. It's fine. But like people say this is
a game,
People were saying this looks like a PS3 game. Get the fuck out of here. What PS3 game were you playing when you were on the PS3? I would like to know because I didn't play them.
With this frame rate, I love to see it.
Dude.
I want to see that PS3 game going at 60 frames.
Yeah.
On like more than 4080p.
Dude, I'm gliding across New York at 60 FPS. I see these buildings rushing by me. You see this beautiful, like a moon up in the distance, stars everywhere. Beautiful
lot of effects,
feeling. And you're telling me this looks like a PS3 game? What a fucking whatever.
I've seen worse. I've seen a guy commented something like, "Oh, what is this PS2/PS3 looking game?" Like, I mean, at least I don't know, pick a lane, right? I think that 6th and 7th generation consoles had very different visuals. What do you mean PS2 versus PS3? What does that mean? Like that's a time that's the zeitgeist in which games that look like this came out of.
So stupid. Anyway,
Anyway,
let's stop talking about idiots, okay?
yes, let's talk about
Um,
smart things.
so I'm let's go. I'll go into a little bit of what I've seen. I know again,
Mhm.
I'm nowhere. I don't know nearly as much as you. So you might be looking at when I say certain things, you're probably going to look at me a certain way because you know what's going on. You know the story. You know the.
Okay,
So
I'll try to curb that behavior.
yeah, I'm gonna try to watch out here. So all in all, I'm really enjoying it, man. I've actually,
Oh yeah.
I kept my expectations really low, and I'm actually really loving it. Matter of fact, I know you were talking about. I know you didn't say this in like a bad way, but you said the part that I'm at is kind of slow. I'm actually really
Mhm.
enjoying it. I'm enjoying these slow down moments where it's not like full throttle things really going on. I'm just Spider-Man going through the city, doing all the science experiments, doing all
No, those
the
are nice. Yeah.
doing all the prowler stations. I'm just enjoying just doing the simple shit. I'm having a lot of fun with it. The Craven, the Hunter hideouts, I really like those. Stuff that were in like a lot of it was in 2018, and I like it back here. I enjoy it. The combat has never felt better. The combat
Oh
has
yeah.
never felt better. It's so impactful. Like this is almost as close as to like Batman Arkham City that you can get.
Hmm.
Like, and because I think that's the most brutal. That and have you ever played Max Payne? Not Max Payne. Mad Max. Have you ever?
Well, Max, I have not.
Okay, that game's combat is super brutal. Like you're like breaking dudes' necks. It's so brutal, and
Yeah.
it kind of gives me the same vibe as like Arkham. With this, it's maybe not as brutal, but it feels just
I
as
mean,
weighty. It feels weighty to me. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it feels nice.
I don't want it to be brutal. You know what I mean? Because Spider-Man is way
Well, I mean,
stronger than Batman. So like, I don't want to see Spider-Man breaking dudes' necks. But
yeah, I mean,
I mean,
Spider-Man doesn't kill, right? So.
yeah, Batman doesn't either. Apparently.
Oh, he doesn't? Oh, yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? That's like his number one rule.
Oh yeah, I thought it
Batman.
was I'm vengeance or something like that. I don't know. I'm the
No,
knight.
that's just what he says. But no, he's not. He doesn't.
Okay.
He doesn't murder.
He
But yeah,
doesn't kill.
I think the combat man is the best
He,
it's ever felt. I love the partner takedowns when you're fighting with someone else. Like
oh
one
yeah,
of
those are really nice.
Dude, some of the best fun I had in this game was when you're playing as Miles. I love playing as Miles, by the way. I think Miles
Oh
is
yeah.
probably like my favorite, like in this game so far. And I haven't played any of the Venom abilities, but I really
Mhm.
enjoy Miles's combat because he feels so
But he has
fluid.
venom powers.
Yeah, isn't that stupid? Don't you think you could have come up with a different name? Because now it's confusing. Like he's got Venom
Oh
powers.
shit! I hadn't thought about that. You're right. Well, I mean, I think I do like the idea that it's there's another spider property that they associated the power with. The fact that spiders have venom.
hmm
I kind of like that. That they can because a lot of the how people complain that Spider-Man got like too techno savvy. He's making like gadgets for himself and all that. Like he's starting to look like Batman or something.
hmm
I think that like I don't really have a problem with him finding out new abilities, new techniques. I just, I think I'm missing the fact that he's trying to do what a spider does, right?
hmm
To associate every power he has to an actual attribute
Yeah.
of spiders.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is confusing, but I like it. I like venom powers.
Yeah, yeah, I like them too. And so, like, some of the best fun I had was when that sequence where you're playing as Miles and you fight with Black Cat. I thought that was
Oh
super
yeah,
fun. Like when she had the wand and she was opening up the portals, and you're swinging through them and taking down the tanks. And then at one
yeah,
portal you swing through, you're like in Antarctica or something.
yeah. That was great. That was
that was
that was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Have you played
yeah,
that?
yeah. It kind of reminded me of that. Yeah, yeah.
It's both made by Insomniac. So
Oh shoot, yeah, that's right, that's right.
So
Dude, Insomniac are the goats right now, the goats of the
oh
industry
yeah, the
right now.
incredible. Yep. Go to
Um,
sell them all.
but yeah, no, the combat, I have yet to get tired of the combat. And look, with playing on Spectacular, I don't know how you've been. Maybe you might just be overall better at games than me, but like I'm not dying a lot, but I'm having a good bit of challenge. When I'm getting swarmed, it's like holy shit, and you mentioned the gadgets earlier. I
Mhm.
really loved the gadgets in 2018. However, it felt a bit much because you had the weapon wheel where
The
it had
weapon
like
wheel. Yeah.
I like this of so much better where you kind of have to choose what you want and you have to be
Yeah.
a
I
little
was
bit more
about to say the
selective with
same
it.
thing.
Yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
I mean, not only that, I think that I don't know about you, but I almost never use the guidance in the first game. And I think that, the reason why I use them way more now in this one is because they became much more accessible.
Hmm.
Back then, they were like an alternate, kind of web shooting, right? You had to,
Hmm.
instead of having the web shooters, you're going to have something else. And it's not smooth. You have to stop your gameplay dead in its tracks to do that.
Hmm.
But here, you have the little wheel, like you have like a shortcut wheel. So you just, hold R1 and use the face buttons. I think that made me use them way more often.
Yeah.
It made me want to upgrade them way sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
One of my favorite combat scenarios was like if I was going up against like 12 people, I would throw out
mhm.
the. You might know the exact name for it. I can't remember, but it's the one
I don't
where
like the sticker one.
when you throw the tool out and it like brings all of the enemies together, like it
Yes.
latches on. You do that, and then you like if you play as Peter and you use the legs, I guess I don't know what you
Hmm.
call that, but like you hold L1 and I think L1 and square for me, and you would do those like
Yeah, it's the
strikes,
whip. Yeah,
dude. I was like taking them out by the dozen with that, and it's so damn satisfying. I had
yeah, a
like a
lot of
lot of
fun
fun.
combos to do. Honestly, when I saw, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you, but I thought of
Oh yeah, go
this
ahead. No,
just
go ahead.
now. When I saw that it had like a shortcut, like shortcut wheel with a bunch of abilities that don't cool down after you use them, I was getting FF16 flashbacks, or even not just FF16, but like flashbacks of these games have like stupid cooldown powers, which most of the times I think really ruin action games for me because what it ends up being, it's like a timer, and
Yeah,
as soon as it runs out, you can use the cool ability.
yeah,
But here they done a good job in the fact that first off, the cooldown is it takes way less to
yeah, yeah,
cool down,
yeah,
and the fact that you being good at the game lessens the cool time, so you have something to work for by
yeah.
getting perfect dodges, by getting high combos. This abilities get cooked up in the oven faster for you.
Yeah, yeah,
So it,
yeah,
it incentivizes you to be good in general.
yeah,
That's so I forgive it.
yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Like what I've noticed, especially on spectacular mode. Now I can't speak for anybody who's playing on normal or whatever, but one thing that I'm really like, it really like, it's kind of like we were talking. You bring up Final Fantasy 16, and not like that's the toughest game ever. And yes, it's a lot of mash square, and then you have your abilities. But like you were telling me when when you're doing the what do you call them? The pillars that are all over the map in Final Fantasy 16, where like they're
The Chronolith.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. I was looking for that word. It's kind of like it shows you how to use the abilities in an effective way that's more strategic as opposed to mash square, mash square, mash square, special ability, special ability, special ability, special ability, square, square, square. No, it's like you actually have to be a bit more strategic in how you fight. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say it's the most strategic game out there because sure as hell not. Like, you got Elden Ring and things like that. But in Spider Man, I wasn't just spamming square. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
wasn't just
that's right.
jumping. I wasn't just jumping in the air, web yanking my enemies up in there, hitting them a few times, and that's it. No, I actually like was using my abilities in different ways. Because, dude, you would I would get swarmed like really quickly,
Well,
and it's you know,
spectacular is now. Yeah, you gotta watch out. You gotta be on your toes.
yeah, yeah, man, a couple hits and that's it. That's a wrap. And I like too that it kind of, and I don't know how this is on normal, so maybe you might know maybe someone who's playing it on normal, but as far
Yeah,
as the
some club.
as far as the healing go, as far as like the healing goes, right? Like when
Mhm.
your health gets low, and how my playthrough is I have to wait until my bar fills up before I can heal. So like it's a little bit
And
more
that's it.
strategic. Yeah, it's a little bit more strategic than just
I think that's true, and I think that's true in all
oh,
difficulty modes.
okay,
Because
okay,
remember that being a thing even in the first games. No, I think the only thing that changes is that the enemies have more health and they deal
yeah,
much more damage. Even like the lesser enemies, yeah, they hit you like 5 to 6 times and that's it. Toast.
yeah, yeah. What I was gonna say though, like in Spider-Man 2018 though, like you get. I feel like I could hit I think it's the down the down directional button
Down, yeah, it's
more often to heal as opposed to this game. Like this game, it's almost like you got to wait for it to fill all the way up before you can heal once. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to because I just went through 2018 like recently, just kind of piddled with it and Miles Morales, and like I feel like you could hit the down button way more times. Like you didn't have to wait for the bar to fill all the way up.
And I get what you mean.
In this game, it's
Well,
like
I mean,
you gotta wait. You know what I mean? So it's a little bit more
and then
strategic.
I'm gonna trust your memory on this one. Then you're probably right.
Yeah.
Because you played it way, way sooner than I have.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I feel like this game does challenge you a bit more in how you approach a combat situation, and I don't know, man. I really dig it. I dig the complexity of that, and where you got to be a bit more pick and choosy. Like, ooh, do I do a special move here? I can do it, but then I just lost my health. And that's the thing. Like I've noticed, like when I'm in a big fight, my health will be like I don't know, like at 20%, and I'll get the button prompts show up on the screen to do a special move, and like I want to heal. Like up here, I'm like, okay, when this fills up, make sure you heal. As soon as I see the button prompts to do a special move, I hit that, and I'm like, shit, you know. And then I end up dying, and I have to start over. But it's like very forgiving, as far as the auto saves.
The timing of the dodges. Oh, also that,
yeah. But yeah, the timing of the dodges, when you can time that perfectly, it's super smooth, man. And how about the?
Yeah, but I mean that one's very forgiving too. Like it's a very open window for what a perfect dodge is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
which is not a bad thing, you know.
You just wait for that line to turn red, and then you hit circle,
and that's it.
But it's satisfying. It doesn't get repetitive to me. But what I was going to ask you was, did you use the parry system a lot?
I didn't at first, but trust me, later in the game, you're gonna come across way more enemies that that have to get parried. And then what ends up happening is that you get paranoid sometimes, and you parry when you could have just dodged. But then you realize that it actually kind of works because when you parry an enemy like perfectly, you leave them open for an attack. So you start doing it more, and I think what I'm trying to say is the game eventually, at least for me, did a really good job at make me try out this new technique, which I probably wouldn't have if I hadn't been forced to, right? I probably would have forgot that it's even a thing. Hadn't the game implemented these ways to make me use it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I haven't used it like a ton, but there's been some times like with like right now I'm fighting a lot of Kraven's guys right now, and like there's this one enemy that has like dual swords, and it'll come at you, charge, and it'll like jump up in the air, and you'll see this yellow bubble pop up, and then when they come down to the ground, it'll turn red, and that's the time to use the parry. I cannot seem to time that. I don't know if it's just because I'm slow as far as like my reflexes or what. So I just end up dodging most of the time because it's just something I feel like one reason why I started with the spectacular mode, probably the same as you, is I feel like we're decent at these games. You know what I mean? I feel like we're decent at dodging. I feel like we know the formula. And while, like you said in your part of your review for it, is we have played this combat before, so we are very comfortable in this. But I think they add enough to it that makes it fun. I haven't.
I agree.
I haven't gotten bored with the combat. I mean, again, I'm only 5 to 7 hours in, so 10 hours from now, let's ask me again. But I think it definitely enhanced the combat even more to the point where it's a lot of fun and a lot of impact, man. And thanks to the DualSense controller, like the haptics, this is honestly probably, besides Ratchet and Clank, which like Jan reminded us, that same developer, this is the best the haptics have ever been. I feel like, to me, it's the best besides Horizon Forbidden West. I thought that was pretty good. I didn't get to finish it.
Right, yeah.
But this, man, it's like everything you do, you can feel it in the controller, and it really adds to it for me. Really adds to the experience. I really like it. Would you say it kind of adds to your overall enjoyment of it, or is it
No, I think that I definitely appreciate it a lot. I do sometimes if you try to have you tried to mute the game from the controller?
I do it all the time.
Yeah, and when you do that, it also deactivates all haptics, all vibration.
Really?
And sometimes, yes, it does.
Oh, no
and
way.
yeah, haven't you noticed?
That's bullshit. No way. I've had my
No, I'm
controller
telling
on
you.
mute, and it doesn't do that.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's a settings thing. Maybe
Yeah,
you can change that in your settings.
I'll try it. I'll try it either tonight or tomorrow, and I'll let you know. But anyway, sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
and check your settings. No, well, for me, it turns out a vibration. And sometimes when I'm like, grinding in a game, that's what I do. I just put something else on, and go on like on autopilot. But like not having vibration kind of throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's in those moments that I realize, just how important this this feature is, right? Just how different it feels. And that's why I feel sorry, honestly, for people who only play with like mouse and keyboard. I think like even as a PC gamer, I would still, prefer getting a controller, just for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really appreciate the ones of the PS5 because there's not a lot of games that truly, as you said, that give out the best from these features, even try to take out the best. So I definitely appreciate it here. Like every time you swing, it's also the audio. Like there's certain sounds that only come out of the controller.
Yeah.
But it feels so natural that my brain takes even some time to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Took some time to realize that all the web sounds while swinging on in combat come out with the controller.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, look, dude. I mean, like I said, I think to some people, I think we had this conversation before, but I just don't think some people just don't care about the haptics. But I think, man, it really adds to the experience. Like it just when you can do it right. Again, we're 3 years into the PS5 life cycle, and we've still only seen like a few games that have really taken advantage of this hardware. And I think we're finally at a point with Spider-Man 2 that we finally got a current gen only game. And that's the thing, current gen only, man. We've been preaching about this. Current gen only should be the way to go from here on out. There should not be a PS4 version of any game.
A lot of posts of like people, like jokingly bitching about it, like some memes. Like, it's like a scene of like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, like crying or something. And it says, me when it's the 20th of October, but I only have a PS4.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, people
and that's the thing. Like I've said a billion times. I mean, listen, we're not. Despite what Jan may think, I'm not a rich person. Neither one of us are rich. I understand that it takes time to get things, but dude, save your money and get you a PS5. There's no reason to bitch about. I understand. Like
we haven't been paid for saying this, by the way.
Yeah,
this is not a paid promotion.
Yeah, it's not a paid promotion, but it's like, no, of course not. I wish it was.
Well, I think we need to disclose that.
Yeah, but I mean, no, look, I understand like struggling, and especially here in the U.S. and everywhere, really, it's like money's so tight, and I understand, but it's like, really, if you just really save like $25 a paycheck. I know it's hard, guys. $25 a paycheck. Within like 6 months' time, you would have the money to get it. Just take $25 and put it in an envelope and don't touch it. And I promise you have a PS5 in 6 months.
Or even better, do you know what I do? I use my e-banking app. It gives you like almost all of them. They give you like an option to automatically detract X sum of money from your account to like a side. What do people call it?
What do you people call it? Okay, I'm a miscreant. Apparently.
No.
Are you talking like a
like in English? The little pig,
right.
where you put money in.
What's
it called?
Yeah, a piggy bank.
A piggy bank. Yes,
yeah,
like a digital piggy bank is what I wanted to say.
Yeah. I mean, well, you could do a lot of things. I mean, like I know we went from Spider-Man to banking now. That's funny. But like with me and my wife, we have a not to get into we're not trying to get in our finance or anything, but we have it set up with our bank account to where like every time we swipe our bank card, $1 goes into our savings. It goes into our
Oh, you
savings.
told me about that. Yeah, that's awesome.
And
In
I
the
mean,
little piggy bank.
look, I'm not sitting here saying it's easy. I'm not saying that. I've been there. I've struggled. I know how it is. I trust me. If anybody's gonna understand, I get it. But if you just put $10 to $20 away every paycheck, you'll get a PS5. I'm telling you. I'm telling
You
you.
follow your dreams.
Yeah, just
Let
10 to 20
anybody tell you
bucks.
different.
I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you that's it. But anyway, so I just don't want to hear bitching about like I had someone comment on my my most recent video, my Spider-Man video. I was kind of hyping up the game like because I wasn't super excited for it, but then I saw that last trailer that's actually the backdrop of this show today with Sandman, and I was like, oh shit, okay, that gives me something a bit more to be excited about. And someone had commented and said that I think they were younger. I think it was a younger kid, and they were like, I hope that I can get a PS5 for Christmas so I can play it. And I'm like, well, I hope you do too, man. It's one of those things. It's especially with how like I'm only 5 to 7 hours into the game, and I'm like, dude, if I was a kid, like I know I'd love it now, and I'm an adult, but
dude, I had the same thought.
yeah,
Like as much as I love it, as I am now, I think I would have shat my pants as a kid.
yeah, dude.
Like
imagine being a kid,
lose my marbles.
You didn't have a job. You weren't going to school. You were just at home, right? On a weekend, right? You didn't have anything going on, and you just get to play Spider-Man, dude.
Just plays like this.
It plays like this.
When I was a kid, I wished games would play like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We really are. It's a really cool time to be playing games. The only thing is just I think, like we've had the conversation before, I think it just comes down to there's just not a whole lot of games that we're super interested in. It's like very few and far between. It's few and far between. Like the next big one for us is what like as far as excitement, it's got to be Final Fantasy VII, right? It's got to be It's got to be Rebirth, right? It's got to be Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
that's at least for me. It's probably the most exciting.
I mean, there are a few things that like I'm looking forward to in between, but yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
like Alone in the Dark, and the Prince of Persia one.
Right. Can I to go back to Spider-Man? I was going to mention I was going to mention back in today's show because I was thinking I've thought about it really like for like at least the back half of the day. I came across a side quest when I was playing as Miles, and the side quest was called I can't find my grandpa or find my grandpa or something like that.
Oh yes. I know which one you're talking about.
And you go down this little trail, you kind of, you're sniffing out this trail to see where the grandpa ran off to because this woman's asking, where's my grandpa? So you help out. And I was remembering like just how beautiful of a scene that was with this old man, and he's sitting on his park bench, and he asked Spider-Man to sit with him, and he's like telling him about when he proposed to his wife at that bench
in that pond.
Yeah, that was a beautiful moment, man. Just talking about like how the improvements of the Spider-Man side quest than
oh my god, the only tedious ones are some concerning Miles' school. If you haven't come across them, you will.
Yeah.
And even get a shit reward if you do them all. But anyhow, besides those, I do agree. The side quests in this game are very I like them a lot.
Yeah.
It's they're like that, very sweet. There's another one which concerns Haley, Miles' sweetheart.
Yeah.
And actually it's about her telling a story to Miles, like telling like what she did that day.
Yeah.
And so you play a flashback of hers. Have you come across that side quest?
No, not yet.
So you play as her, and since she's deaf.
Yeah.
There's like little to no audio. All the audio is very, very muffled.
Yeah.
But like you hear vibrations or haptics way more. I think that was just very sweet included in the game,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
also it's another use of the haptics. So I think I like that smell
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. I'd heard about that they went that route. What did you think about? Because look, one thing I did not like about Spider-Man 2018 at
Hmm.
all, and
Uh,
I might be look, I might be in a boat here. I hated the MJ missions. The MJ missions and the
oh
Miles
yeah.
missions. I didn't really want to play as them at all. Um, I just didn't find their parts fun. I didn't care about the stealthy approach they were going for. You're gonna make me play as this guy who can beat everybody's ass. That's so agile. That's Spider Man, and then you make me play as MJ. What did you think about the MJ sections in this one? Because I haven't really played one yet. So I mean,
Oh, you
what's your take?
haven't.
No, this is my
Huge
first like
improvement.
I'm about to come on to the first one now, so I
Hmm.
haven't played it yet. So big improvement.
Huge. As you said, I'm on the same side of the fence as you about the section in the first game.
Hmm.
Just very boring. Like maybe the very first time you thought you play the game, you might endure them, right?
Yeah.
Uh, just because they're very narrative driven to the
Hmm.
point that almost you worry you ask whether or not automatic. And but like on every subsequent playthrough, they get just a chore. They become that one part that you really wish you could skip.
Hmm.
Uh, in this one, they did they did a thing that they should have done the first one. They had genius idea of try and make them fun.
Hmm.
Uh, Without spoiling too much, pretty much they gave MJ like way more offensive techniques. It just added on the gameplay, and besides, you only get to play as MJ. It's the only side character you play as, and then it almost feels right. Like you play a bit as Peter, a bit as Miles, and a bit as MJ. You get to play as a whole Spider trio. That's like way better than just playing as a random
Yeah.
civilian, beat Miles and MJ in the first game.
I got a good question for you. I'll spice up
Let's
this
hear it.
conversation just to get away from gameplay for a second. Let's go to story for a
Smash,
second.
fine.
Oh, okay, Smash. Okay. Yeah, speaking of Smash,
I would
let
just.
me that goes into the conversation. Do you think, respectfully, do you
Oh,
think Harry
uh,
do you think Harry Osborn uh do you think he smashed MJ at some point?
the Harry Osborn from this universe.
Yes.
Well, I haven't really thought about it. Have you?
Well, I have, and here's why. They are like super. If I'm Peter, right now,
Mhm.
I know that they're really like, and I'm talking about where I'm at in the game. Okay, so I don't know what
Mhm.
happens later on, but where I'm at in the game, MJ, and they're happy that Harry's back. They haven't seen this guy in probably like what 3, 4 years, something like that. He was
Mhm.
overgoing treatments. Thought he was gonna die. Oh look,
He
Harry's
was
back,
in Europe.
dude. Yeah, in Europe.
Yeah, just a nondescript country in
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Europe.
But anyway, do you think MJ and Harry are a bit too like
Bone.
a bit too friendly? Like in some of the scenes where they're together, it's almost like
Uh huh.
flirtatious almost. It's not even like hey, that's my buddy. It's more of just like, yeah, we totally banged and
Like you know what's going on.
you know what I mean? Do you ever get that
Okay.
vibe or is that just me? I just feel like they were like a
I
little too
I,
friendly.
I think that's just you, dude. As funny as I find that, as much as I like this series of you,
Oh.
like, I gotta debunk them. I actually felt like, especially in the Coney Island mission, Harry really seemed like a third wheel to me. Like I felt sorry for the guy at some point. Like
Mm-hmm.
every time that you go on a ride, it would be like you'd have two seats. You'll always MJ and Peter, and Harry's somewhere in the back, having alone. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I
Did you
think she's just.
Oh, go ahead.
I,
Go
I
ahead.
was. I was just gonna say. I think it's. I don't know if you're used to like men-woman friendships. I think that that doesn't really that pertains to that
Mm-hmm.
sphere. Definitely, every interaction I've had them have.
Right. No, I think no. So, like I have my own beliefs on that kind of thing, but within a sanctity of a certain situation, and we won't get into that. But it just seemed that she was a bit like she was like overly friendly to like Harry, and I'm
Well,
like,
she
hey,
gave him a little kiss. Was that it?
well, did she give him a kiss? Oh, she does, doesn't she?
Yeah, like on the cheek, I
She
think.
does, doesn't she? Yeah, I do remember that. No, actually, I wasn't referring to that, but that just adds on to what I was saying.
Yeah.
I'm just messing. I was just really just saying what you thought.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No, like I was just that's what I was saying. Like I just want to see what you thought about it because it just the way she was acting, she was acting a bit. She seemed a bit flirtatious to Harry, but maybe it was just because they haven't seen this dude in so long. They were,
yeah,
best
they probably
friends.
knew each other. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I think that they're just very comfortable around each other. It's probably just that.
That's probably what it is. What the fuck is up with Peter paying all that fucking money for his house? I know you saw my screenshot of his mortgage.
Yeah, I saw it.
Holy shit.
It was so funny what you said, yeah. Yeah, like the most realistic part is Spider-Man 2.
Dude, you can't. What was Peter thinking? You can't even hold down a freaking job, and you're gonna pay $4,500 a month? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Like, and that's,
that was funny.
This is video game rates, and that shit's ridiculous. Wow. I couldn't believe it. Which I understand, like that was Aunt May's house, so it's probably like, I know I'm probably thinking about it way too like serious, but I was like thinking to myself, like, okay, Aunt May, she might not have left the house to him, so maybe he had to buy the house, right? Like, because that's how
oh, you're actually going into the logistics of it. So
like
how come it costs as much?
Dude, it costs like crazy. Like his credit has to be fucked like bad because like for that to be $4,500, right? So Aunt May, she must not
consider that this is in New York.
Yeah, right.
Maybe
I know.
like rates are just much higher there.
Right, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just shit's just nuts over there. But like, I can't believe 45. Like I can't. It's fake, man. But I'm like, holy shit, man. Like if I'm Peter, I'd be freaking out. I'd be freaking the hell out. I'd have to keep that fucking job with Harry. I'd have to. I gotta work somewhere.
Or the teaching job he loses at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, he blows that, and then he gets, and then he works with Harry. He's working with Harry
at the foundation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not long probably, but he needs that job because.
But it's gonna go great.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's gonna go great.
I just get friends. Come on.
I just get this inkling that it's definitely not gonna go great, but. But
hey, I'm just gonna tell you one thing. You still don't know who Venom is.
No, I don't. I don't know. Like I'm still leaning towards Harry, but
but it might be like a huge red herring. That's what I kept thinking when I was.
But here's the thing. Like I was thinking maybe Harry, and again, you can't confirm nor deny what I'm about to say.
No, I know. I'm not gonna. No more.
But I also have this feeling that maybe it could be Kraven. Because of how big Venom is, because Venom is so damn big, and look at Kraven in this damn game. This dude's a freaking beast. He's a freaking beast. So
I think that might have. Yeah.
It might not be. It probably isn't true, but I just like if it's not Harry, that would be a pretty decent twist because it would be like different. Like it would straight up like. But then you hear Venom say, we'll heal the world. But that also could be like
the world.
That could also be like,
red herring.
So I am eager to see who Venom is. I am eager to see.
I'll tell you what about you saying that it might change the character so much might put the cosmos in unbalance. But I actually am gonna have a hot take that I've been thinking about like just today because today is when I finish the story. Because I was doing like the side quests pretty much adjacent with the main story. So by the time I was over with it, I already had 100%.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was going to say is that while I was playing it, finishing up the story, I thought of this one thing. That Venom is a very cool origin story as a concept. Like if I think of the character, the origin story is the best part. The character in itself, at least I never found particularly interesting in none of its renditions.
Who's it? I'm sorry. Who's this?
Venom.
Talking about Venom. Oh, that is a hot take.
I mean, like the origin is very cool. The idea that this one person who very much hates Peter Parker,
Mhm.
and then this symbiote alien who very much hates Spider-Man, they bond through that hatred, and at that time realize that they're the same person. I think it's genius. I love it as a concept, right? It's a perfect evolution of the Black Suit saga, right? Which is one of my favorite sagas, right? Well, Peter finally learns to, get rid of all this hate, of all these negative emotions.
Mhm.
This thing kind of clump up and come after him.
Mhm.
It's great. But the character in itself is kind of like whatever. Like it's a big brute who likes to be weird. And I'm saying this that like in his first iteration, it was somewhat interesting. They made him like a church creep, like a church freak. He kept like talking, about he kept just throwing like Bible terms at Peter here and there,
Mhm.
and he had like a weird policy about not killing babies.
Mhm.
He like saves a baby at some point.
Mhm.
But like other than that, I don't know. I didn't find him very memorable. And all the other iterations of him is like again
Huh.
more the same. That's just me. And like in fact, the one time that it had to be a protagonist, so the story had to focus on Venom was in the movie Venom, in which we know how that one goes. Like I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but it completely altered every notion about Venom, right? They turned it into like a buddy cop movie.
Mhm. Mhm.
Which I mean, sure, it's funny, but it has nothing to do with Venom,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
He loses even the meaning of its name, like it's Venom. Like Peter goes, oh, "What are you?" Like, "We are your Venom." Uh,
Yeah.
so,
So
but
I
yeah, I'm talking way too much about this. Sorry.
oh no. So
Mm.
I'm also going to have a hot take as well. I'm
Let's hear it.
actually I'm actually getting tired of seeing the symbiote story in Spider-Man. I'm kind of done with it. I think it's time to do other things. That's why I loved Across the Spider-Verse so much. Because you
Mm-hmm.
focused on a new villain. Like me and you were literally like we were doing our show talking about Across Spider-Verse, and correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you knew about the Spot, but I didn't know this. I didn't know
I
the
didn't.
Spot was a
Yeah, no, I
thing.
didn't.
We had to look it up. We had to look it up and be like, oh shit, so this is actually an original
Yep.
villain. And so I was actually fine with. I love it when they explore different villains. I feel like we've seen Venom so much, man. Now, granted,
That's true.
you can't tell me shit, and that's fine. I don't want you to. But this is what I heard. I heard that Venom is super memorable in this game. Would you say that's a hot take, or would you agree? Like, can you tell me that? You don't have to tell me like the ins and outs, but like, is he memorable as a anti-hero
Sure.
slash villain, whatever he is? So just sure.
Hmm. Okay, in the sense I can understand why people would think that. Because
Oh.
I think that, I mean, it's not much. Like, don't get too hyped. I'm just saying that. So the way he described him, at the beginning, he's just a big brute who
Hmm.
likes to be weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like that's the bar. So when it
Hmm.
comes to like representation of like Venom, like Venom's personality, the bar is in hell. And in this game, it's a bit higher than that. It's
Hmm.
like it's decent. It makes sense. They don't spend too much time developing it. I mean, because there's nothing to develop. It's a very simple concept.
Hmm.
And dude, I wish I could be a little more specific, but I would spoil who where Venom is. I think you're too smart for that. Uh,
Hmm.
but
Let me ask you this: Is it
it's
a without telling? So again, damn it! I wish I was farther in the game. I could talk more about it. Um. So don't tell me, but would you
okay.
say the reveal of Venom is a pretty cool? Is a cool?
Oh yeah, yeah. You do have a little surprise there. Yeah, this game is full of little surprises. Actually,
Yeah.
it's like little things, like especially the side missions.
Hmm.
Yeah, some side missions are, as I said, they're full of like cute little things, like the one that Dylan and I described. But then they have some pretty. So without saying too much, there's one side quest who pretty obviously foreshadows a future enemy in a future game.
Ooh.
And you're gonna know when you see it.
It's a side quest too.
Yeah, it's like a. So have you come across the cultists?
Yeah. The flame.
there's-
Yeah.
The flame. There's a whole like a side quest chain.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm
At the
doing.
end,
Yeah, I'm
dude,
doing it.
finish it. At the end of that chain, dude.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's gonna be this. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you this. Like, there's gonna be this one moment, what, right? Well, the flame's gonna have a monologue. You know, it's his classic. I mean, the actual cult leader, the flame,
Mm-hmm.
is gonna, do this monologue, right? The classic bad guy monologue. At some point, he's gonna start saying things. He's gonna say he said a thing, right? He said, and while he was saying his sentence, I already at some point everything just clicked, and I knew how it was going to end. I knew the final word he was gonna say, and this is gonna make sense to you when you play it, And as soon as I knew which word he was about to say, I knew who this man was, who the flame was. It's a. I hope it didn't sound too cryptic. Like I'm trying to.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So
You're gonna understand.
So that's a big, somewhat of a reveal.
It's a pretty big reveal. That's a pretty big reveal. But it's not like too. But it's like one of those reveals that you gotta know to know. You gotta know about it to figure out what he's talking about, right? You need to have some background, and you're gonna have it. Trust me.
Yeah, I was trying to
know this character.
I was trying to think because I mean, like, again, I know we can't really talk about it too much, but like with the flame, like now my head is like I'm like spiraling a bunch of ideas of who it might be because like I have seen him, but I haven't finished a story arc. It's
so
just like
so you know what he looks like, right?
Yeah, he shows like so you're fighting with Wraith, who you find out obviously it's Yuri from the DLC. You see in the
Spider-Man for the main game too.
Yeah. And so she becomes Wraith, and I just
that whole thing is fun as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, but this serious policewoman, right? Who starts dressing up like that and calling herself Wraith of all things. But whatever, go ahead.
But anyway, it's like the second mission I did of the flame side quest, and like at the very end of the mission, his face pops up on like this projector looking, bad guy screen. It's not like a screen, but it's like a projection.
Well.
And he's talking, he's talking to Wraith, and he's like talking. He's talking to Wraith, and he like doesn't even acknowledge Spider-Man. He's just like, "Oh, there you are," kind of thing. Like, yeah, whatever. We're having a conversation. Well, it's like a Toby Spider-Man and in the very first Spider-Man. It's like, "Hey, pipe it down, Mom and Dad are having a talk here, will you?" That's kind of what it reminded me of. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Dude. But no. See, now you got me excited, man. So I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open for that.
Be excited.
Good.
And besides, like for the main story too. You know what? Okay. So maybe not the character, but the fight against Venom, man, that is memorable. In fact, a lot of boss fights in this game are memorable. There's this one boss fight which I'm not going to confirm which one it is. But before, when we were like talking about the game, our expectation about the game, there's this one boss fight we speculated, and it is here, and it's fantastic. So
that's got me thinking because what did we talk about before? Now I'm gonna have to go back and watch that because I don't.
I'm gonna give you another one. You know the little spider bots?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're probably the hardest thing that you can collect. Out of all the things you can collect, that's the hardest one because they don't show up on the map.
Yeah, you just gotta swing around. Yeah.
So yeah, that was tedious, and your reward for that is like a little Easter egg. Like you see, it has a lot of cute little hidden things throughout it. It really makes it feel the world alive. This is all I want from an open world game. Honestly, every time if anytime someone thinks I'm too harsh to open world games, I'm really not. Just be like Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Just be like.
I'm sorry, Red Dead Redemption 2.
That's kind of a high bar.
Red Dead Redemption 2 takes the spot in the open world formula, man. But this is good. This is very good so far. So yeah. So, But yeah, so yeah, I'm excited, man. We'll definitely have to do our next episode if you want to. If I know
Definitely.
everyone's gonna be done with the game at that point, it's probably gonna be old news. But I want to talk about huge story moments. I apologize to anybody who comes and watches this episode later or watches it now. I apologize to you, Jan, that I haven't had a whole lot of time to really get into the story, really get farther into the game. I apologize. It's just been so
That's
busy.
fine.
I will make it an effort to try to get this thing done and complete it. At least be done with the story and all the side stuff content before our next show. And we'll go in a bit more detail on it because I think just hearing you talk right now, it's getting me excited just that possibilities of the different things. And I hope that Insomnia keeps making these types of games, man. And the thing is, one thing I mentioned in my video, and I think I talked to you about it as well, is like, so to go back off of what you were saying about Venom, right? Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, I haven't seen Venom in the game yet. So I don't know how his character is, but the thing is, I'm the same way. I like Venom. I love the whole thing with Eddie Brock, his relationship. You know, there's some comics out there where he goes to Eddie Brock first, then he goes to Spider-Man, then he comes back. Eddie Brock is that beautiful fit between him, between himself and Venom, and like I love that relationship. I absolutely love it. But yeah, look,
Mhm.
I agree with the same thing, man. I feel like a lot of Spider-Man stories are very rinse and repeat. One of the criticisms I heard about this game, and you can confirm nor deny this one as well. I
All
heard
right.
that as far as the main story goes, we've seen it before. Is that true or not? Is it true in some ways, but not in others? Like
Like
you
like
know,
as if we've seen it in other Spider-Man
yeah, other
related media
Spider-Man, whether it be movies, TV
adaptations.
shows, yeah, whatever. Like it feel like we've
Mhm.
seen it before. Because let's be honest, like Spider-Man 2018, the ending of that game, you called it a tearjerker. I didn't really feel it that way
Man, I
because
cry
I,
every
I
time.
just wasn't I just wasn't really attached to that Aunt May at all. Like you don't really know her all that. I get
Well,
I get it, but like I just didn't.
it's less about that. I felt more of a like a Bertoldian worldly pain seeing that scene. It's more about Peter being forced to have that choice, right? Save only Aunt May or save everyone else, right?
Mhm.
And when he really struggles, he really wrestles with that, but he decides to let Aunt May go. I think it's more that it's not as much. It's not. I'm not really sad that video game character died. I'm just very moved by Peter's emotions
Mhm.
in that cutscene, and that's
Yeah,
why I sometimes complain about the new phase because it's not as animated. It doesn't really
yeah, yeah.
give the same kick.
But like, so I don't know how the ending is, but one thing I will say, and I think you can admit to this, like that first sequence with Sandman and everything that followed is better than anything we've seen in the MCU. Right? With Spider Man. Come on, man. You
Well, I
gotta
mean,
you gotta be admitted to that, dude. Tom Holland's movies. Come on, man. I bank on you
nah.
to help me hate on these movies. I need you right
Well,
now.
but here's the problem, dude. I never I never miss a chance to shit on those movies, but the action is the one thing those movies do right.
What?
Come on, Mysterious, the sections with Mysterio in
Yeah,
Far From Home,
that's a decent
and those are
scene,
cool.
sure.
And a lot of there's like this one shot from the Sandman fight in this game, which is like clearly inspired, like it's almost a copy and paste copy from a shot from the No Way Home movie. When he's going, there's like a thunderstorm all around,
Mm-hmm.
there's sand everywhere, and Sandman has turned to this huge version of himself. You can only see his like face, or
Mm-hmm.
like the silhouette of a face on a. Yeah, Spider-Man is just he's going in for the punch. Same shot in No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that I find it difficult to say that they're better, mostly because I feel like many of it would not exist without the MCU fighting scenes. Like they would be very different.
Mm.
So
I don't know. I feel like they take more inspiration from the Sam Raimi trilogy than I mean, because like
okay,
look at Sandman for instance, right? Like every portrayal of Sandman that I've ever seen, you usually see the human version of him in scenes. But here he's just sand. It's kind of like in Spider-Man 3 where you see the human side of him, but Sandman gets like this huge like gigantic version of himself, right? Like I don't remember really ever seeing that in a lot of the Spider-Man media when I was growing up of him getting like gargantuan, like
Huge.
yeah, like the
Mhm.
size of a building. Like he's gotten big, like bigger than Spider-Man, but like you know what I mean, not like as big.
Yeah, I can. You know what? Yeah, I can think. Yeah, you're right. I cannot think of a single time in the comics he ever did that.
Yeah, they get that big, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm as much as I shit on those movies too, you know, yeah, it's got some okay action in some parts, but let's be honest, dude, that with that Spider-Man being such a bitch, with those storylines not being as nearly as good and very shallow, I think the action in this
Yeah,
game
no,
right
no.
now is just through the roof better than anything we've gotten into Spider-Man MCU. Spider-Man MCU. I'm not talking about like Avengers Endgame or anything like that. I'm
Right.
just talking about like Spider-Man, you know?
hmm You know, but I will agree. The actresses are fantastic. They're really fun, and they have like the, you know, I feel like a pretty good balance between spectacle and control.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right, so let's segue into this last part here. So let's talk about Craven real fast because we haven't even given love to my boy yet. I love Craven. I love as a character. I don't know him as much in this game. But fun
Mhm.
fact before I finish my next statement, did you know you played Days Gone, didn't you? Days Gone?
no,
Really?
no.
Oh, dude, that game's fantastic.
I presently cannot
Oh
even remember
man.
what it is.
It's you play as this guy, it's a zombie apocalypse, you ride a motorcycle.
Oh, right. You're right. You're right. I mean, I played a bit of it. I didn't finish it. I played like the
Dude,
first two
dude, I,
quests.
I really I love that game. Anyway, the character that's like your brother, his name is Boozer. He's bald and has the tattoos on his head.
hmm
It's Craven. That's the same guy that plays Craven.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
American.
I don't know. I suppose so.
Yeah, because you know, like Craven, he has this accent. He's this like
Yeah.
Russian-esque
Well,
or
you
Russian
can
accent.
tell they used his face like the same.
Oh,
face
you're
and
talking about the face. Oh, okay.
the face and voice, but they used his face for Craven.
For the mocap. I get it.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah, I've really liked Craven. I think he's a very underutilized character in the Spider-Man mythos. I'm glad that it seems like to me
Yeah.
like they use him mostly for games. I've seen Craven in a lot of games, a lot of Spider-Man games. But for him to be more of the, you know, I wouldn't say the star of the show, but you know, one of the heavy hitters in this game, at least earlier on. I mean,
Mhm.
what do you think about Craven? I mean, did you dig Craven in Spider-Man 2?
I like the Craven Spider-Man too, just because he I'm not as much of a fan. Okay, I'm more of a fan of him later in the comics. When he first shows up, he's kind of whatever. He's like really this guy that comes out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
He says he's the best hunter in the world, and he just found out that Spider-Man exists and wants to hunt him. Okay, which is no, it can be executed well in this game. It certainly was, but like the concept of it, if you think about it, is pretty ridiculous. This guy, you know, he's so good at hunting every single animal on Earth that he's just itching for a new challenge, and it's kind of, you know, the most dangerous game on steroids.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, but I do like what they did with him in this game because he's one of those characters, you know, he's one of those bad guys that you just want to, you know, because he's such an asshole, dude. Like the things he does, for pretty much what is one of the most selfish reasons ever. The things he does are so fucked up. Like, you know, I don't know how much you've seen, so I'm not gonna tell you what he does.
I can't remember the last scene I've seen him in. To be honest with you, it's been a while since I've actually seen him. I've fought a lot of his.
Well, not him.
dude.
Like, well, I mean, even like the things he makes, like his little soldiers do. Like you know, he's like gathering all the super villains, right?
Yeah.
You know that much.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, so that's the thing. Like, cause okay, again, you can't spoil it, but he kills Scorpion, right? Is Scorpion finito or does he come back? Scorpion's dead,
Dude.
right?
Scorpion is dead. Yeah, he fucking killed him, dude.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if maybe like.
I mean, that's what Craven does. He's looking for he's capturing all the supervillains because he wants to find a beast that is
Well,
a decent rival.
do you think like the thing that sucks, man? The thing that really
Mm-hmm.
sucks is and I know this is really beating a dead horse here because we talked about this, but like when you put so many villains in one game, it's really hard to like keep making. I guess have it look like characters like Scorpion. I know like they've never really been like a huge character. Then it's never been like one of Spider-Man's like most like grotesque adversaries, but I
Mm-hmm.
wish Insomniac would like kind of like, and again like I'm not that far in this, so I don't know what all they've done with it with the story, but I wish they would spread out these villains a little bit more. Like if you're gonna have Venom, right? If Venom was gonna be somewhat of a focus, right? Then Venom should have been just the focus for Spider-Man 2. You know what I mean? Or like to me, like with how big Venom is, and as far as like his presence, I feel like that's more of like if you're doing a trilogy, it would make sense
Mm-hmm.
that he's the trilogy, right? Because the thing that Peter channels most is the feeling of the symbiote. It makes him feel unstoppable. It makes him feel
Mm-hmm.
better than he's ever felt.
Like a
And
better
struggling,
Spider-Man.
and he's struggling with that. Like, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and no one can stop me. And he has to struggle with that, repeatedly. And that's what makes that story so damn good. Like the best parts of it. I know we're tired of seeing it, and we might not think Venom is great, but that story of Peter trying to battle pretty much the light and the dark side is fantastic. And it feels like a final. It feels like a final boss almost kind of thing. Like that like let's say Spider-Man went through Green Goblin already. He's went through this, and I still hope to see Green Goblin at some point. I love the Goblin.
I'm not allowed to say anything.
I know. Don't say shit.
Mm.
But I would like to see the Goblin because I think that's a.
We haven't seen him for a long time.
Yeah, we haven't
Like,
seen him
I
for a long
mean,
time. Besides No Way Home, but yeah.
yeah, but that was more the same. I was thinking of like a new adaptation of the character.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm fine if they bring in Willem Dafoe to do the mocap and voice for him, though. Because
Well, I
he's
mean,
so
we
damn
already
good.
have a Norman Osborn though.
I know. I
So,
know.
but I like this Norman.
Yeah,
Like, it's
he's
not
okay.
Willem Dafoe, but
Yeah. Peter Parker.
Peter.
How the hell
How
are
the
you?
hell are you?
Yeah. But
no, trust me, he's pretty involved in this game too,
yeah, I can.
as you might guess. Yeah.
I see. I see little drops here and there. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. But yeah, I mean, what all else is there to really talk about until we can really get into
I just
the
wanted to
story?
tell you about the villains. I think that at least in this game, the focus on the villains is done pretty well because it really only focuses on two villains.
Mm-hmm.
Like the others are, pretty much there to like they're not meant to be the main guys. They're meant to be side characters.
Mm-hmm.
And like they focus on two villains, and I think pretty much which one they are. One is Craven, the other one is Venom. So I like what they did here.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I do agree. I like less is more, but I like when there's more villains, at least more than one villain, because it lets these stories, as you both also said, we heard them all a lot of times, right? Retold in different ways,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that one way to make them more interesting is to make them intertwine a bit. Now, again, I'm not gonna say specific spoilers, but I think that Craven's, his obsession with power, right? With finding an equal, and the other way he does that is by pushing other people to their absolute limit, make them fight for their lives like animals. This whole thing that, true power lies in these primordial instincts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it ties very well with the saga of the suit, which pretty much of the black suit, which was happening to Peter, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty much letting himself just go to these instincts, these impulses that he's been holding back,
Mm-hmm.
out of morality. I think the two things really match together very well. I think I
Yeah.
like the matchup of these two villains thematically.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say to that, I mean, yeah, I agree. I like when they're intertwined. The only thing is, in Spider-Man 2018, I thought they did it kind of rushed because like you had these boss fights where there was two of them. You were fighting two villains at a time. Do you
Oh
remember?
yeah, that's
I thought
way
that
too
was.
many villains.
I thought
I
that
mean,
was
I get
trash.
it. It's a Sinister Six, so you can't, I like the idea that they did the new concept of that. But it's too many villains. Like
Yeah.
6 villains is too many villains.
Yeah, yeah. But one thing I did like about like just speaking on that for a second is I like that they made in 2018 they made Doc Ock, and I don't know if he shows up in this game or not, and that's fine, neither here nor there. But Doc Ock is I like how he's a total villain in 2018 as opposed to like he starts off good, like you know what's going on. He puts the arms. It's kind of like the same kind of thing, like the arms are like driving him mad. It's kind of like with Spider-Man 2 with Toby's with the little chip.
Yeah.
Oh, these things will not go wrong as long as I have this chip in the back of my neck and
that's when you know that.
and then the one time it breaks and then all hell breaks loose. But
which breaks
like,
super easily. It's like a little light bulb.
I know it's like a little thin piece of glass, man. You could have thought you go super expensive. You use Oscorp money. Not billions of dollars to make these state-of-the-art arms, and you put like a little plastic chip on the back of your neck.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest shit. I never really thought about that. That's some stupid shit.
Yeah, right. I always thought about it as a kid. I was like, really? That's it?
Yeah. Peter
Like
Parker.
I thought I missed the part. Yeah.
Peter Parker, brilliant but lazy. Great movies. Those are so good.
No, I love them. I love them.
Yeah, dude.
Like there's so many scenes of that movie in by themselves that I just like to rewatch sometimes.
Dude.
Like
all the time.
like Otto giving advice to Peter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude. It's so
awesome.
awesome.
If you really want a woman to fall in love with you, Peter Poetry.
Yeah. Day by day. Day by
oh my god.
Yeah, that shit's so cringe, man.
I love that. I love it.
I do too. Even
No,
though
I think that's what they.
MJ's a straight up bitch in those movies. We've talked about that though.
Oh my god, dude! Just compare MJ in these in those movies and in these games.
Mm-hmm.
This is the MJ I know.
Dude, she's
which,
so
by the way,
better.
Yeah, I like it. I find it so funny that she's a reporter now. But I think it's it's not new in this game. I think it happened already in a lot of reiterations. But she used to be a model, in the original one. And I wonder if her shift in careers generationally is due to maybe wanting her to be a better role model or something, which makes sense. I mean, she's always been a very smart woman, right? Very street smart.
You said she was a model in when Spider-Man 2018?
No.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm thinking in all the most modern iterations, she's like a reporter or something like that, which I don't mind because it makes sense.
Yeah.
With her
character. she's very Lois Lane. Type,
Yes, exactly.
She's more Lois Lane than really old school MJ because MJ is always her every iteration, a lot of iterations I saw when I was a kid. She was very how you say I wouldn't say a slut, but she just kind of was very not really a slut, but just
flirty.
Yeah, she was just more of she wasn't very what's the word am I looking for here?
Was she
modest? Is modest a good word?
Okay, sure.
I don't know.
Again, no. I'm just confused because from not being modest and being a slut, I mean that's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, that is
right. So it really confused me.
I know. I said no. I said not a slut. See, I wasn't gonna go that far. I was trying to find...
Yeah, but you mentioned it. So I'm like, what?
So obviously she's not all right. So more than
are you
modest.
talking about how she looks or how she acts?
How she acts more than modest. Sorry, I'm trying to think.
Less than modest.
Less modest, not slutty, but less modest. There you go. That's better.
Yeah, she's liberated.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Sure.
She's yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, definitely.
No.
She's very flirty.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about your favorite fictional female of all time.
I'm not. Okay, first off, that's Gwen Stacy. But MJ is a close second.
I thought, well, where does Nami stack up on that list? Nami from the One Piece Netflix show.
Well,
I mean,
no, that's different because I'm not thinking about the character. I'm thinking about the actress, and she's real. So that's like a completely different list. Yeah, I would announce both MJ and Gwen Stacy to have whatever her name's whatever her hand in marriage.
I don't know. So to finish up this conversation, so
Right.
yeah, so which Gwen Stacy are we talking about? Are we talking about Gwen Stacy from Spider-Man 3? Because that
No,
Gwen Stacy,
no, fuck
'cause
that. No.
Hey, that Gwen Stacy, man.
I don't care how hot she is. No. They made her into a bimbo, dude. That's not Gwen Stacy.
That's
It
fair.
is. She is a bimbo in that movie. She's
No.
like
That's fair. I agree.
she's more of a Liz Allen than a Gwen Stacy, honestly. in
Yeah,
that movie.
yeah. Yep. I agree.
So,
I agree. But just going off of just appearance
Just
alone.
looks. Yeah, sure. All right. Smash. There you have it. Like,
Smash. Anyway,
like I don't know what to say to this.
Yeah, I know. We're just kind of.
I'm sure. Yeah, pretty women are pretty. Yeah, I mean you're right. I
Yeah,
agree.
we're just. No, I'm just having some fun, man. Listen, I know we kind of
Yeah.
we're trying to keep it serious about Spider-Man 2, but listen, I'm not that far into it. We can't really talk about it like we want to.
You're right.
So I'm just being stupid. I'm over here like Gwen Stacy or Nami from
No,
One
I
Piece.
agree.
It's so stupid. So look, with that, we'll kind of.
No, I love having these conversations, dude.
We'll get ready to wrap it on up. I know it's a stupid conversation. But so any kind of final. I know you can't give your final thoughts on it. Well, you can, but without going into detail, like what is something that you take away from Spider-Man 2, like that you sit with, maybe you've thought about after you've beat it. Like what's something you've taken away?
You know, I really thought about I think I thought about this thing. My dad once told me this. He said that when you're able to do something, right, something only you can do, you have a moral obligation to do it. Right? It's not about choice; it's responsibility. He didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get to a way to. I mean, he did introduce me to Spider-Man though, so in a way, and I'm pretty sure that he was pretty smug about having me see young. With great power comes great responsibility. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I'm trying to say is that this game really, as with the last game, the game really encapsulates what I like about this character, what I like about Spider-Man. I love this Spider-Man. I love Yuri Lowenthal, who gives his voice to. Dude, do you know how old this man is?
No, how old is he?
He's like 50.
Is he? Is he?
Yeah, look how good he sounds. He's a super convincing 20-year-old.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's got his
Dude is
voice sounds
amazing.
super youthful. Yeah. I knew he was older. I didn't know how old he was. I didn't know he's 50 though.
Dude, he's as old as my dad.
Yeah.
And
So
he's playing a character that's as old as me. That's
where you're coming from is, I mean, I think Miles's voice is very, very annoying. His character's okay,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
think his voice is just annoying. So I didn't.
Yeah,
I
I don't know
I
who
haven't
does
heard you
that.
say. I haven't heard you say Miles not the first time. Are you not really feeling Miles as a?
Oh, no, I like Miles. He's just like I'm in such deep love with Peter, right? Miles is like a side piece, like I can't.
He's a side piece. Okay, that's a good way to say it, I guess. It's a little weird, but okay, sure. Last question.
No,
Last
the thing
question.
that I do like Miles. I like Miles. He's just, and I do like the fact that I've accepted him as Spider-Man, which is like it's a big thing. He's pretty much Peter Parker's successor,
Right.
So the fact that I'm not that. I don't judge him so much. I don't mind him so much. Pretty much proves that I've accepted him. He can't be Spider-Man. He can be my Spider-Man.
Yeah. I would say the same. Well, just so far what I've seen, I do like it. His voice though is so annoying. Genki.
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 Yeah, like every time, like me and my roommate, every time he says Genki, we're like Genki.
Genki. Hey, Genki.
Yeah, and I
Shut
understand.
up,
He's like
dude.
18. Why does he sound like that?
I don't know. Just write
Dude,
your
and
essay.
again, yeah, you should see the voice actor playing him. He's like 30 something. He has a super deep voice. I don't know how he does that. How he
Yeah.
managed to do that voice.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, Peter.
Hey, man. Where's Peter? Hey,
Hey, not
man.
cool, man.
Not cool, man.
Oh, oh,
even, even when
speaking
he's
about
talking shit,
quotes.
even when he's talking shit, he sounds
Uh-huh.
lame.
Yeah, but I do like. I'm starting to grow in his jokes. He said one joke. I can't remember it now. It's near the end. He said one joke that I really like. But anyhow, what I was gonna say is that the quips, like little like battle quotes,
Yeah.
they did. I love what they did that, and I'm gonna spoil this. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
So obviously, when you have the black suit, Peter starts being more aggressive and all that,
Mhm.
and his battle quotes get way more aggressive. Like when you have like a little crime uh, alert, and then you go to where the crime is being done,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's like some people trying to set like a oil tank on fire.
Yeah.
So like usually when you're like normal Peter, you go there and he says something like, "Oh come on guys, you're gonna get burned. Like stop that." Or he like says it as a joke or something like that.
Mhm.
When you're black costume Peter, he fucking goes, "Oh, so you like playing with fire, huh?"
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and there's like the hunter outpost where you find out more about Kraven's family. And sometimes Genki says he said this. Genki said like, "Oh man, that's messed up, right? What happened there?" And Peter goes, "This family doesn't deserve your sympathy."
Jeez.
Dude, no, you have no. He gets brutal. Like I'm not gonna spoil anything else, but like some of the later fights, the way he trash talks his enemies, he fucking destroys them. Like I wouldn't recover from that for weeks before he says to those people. No, you have no clue. I was really shocked. I really
Yeah.
like how far, like, Tobey Maguire's Black Suit Spider-Man is nothing compared to this one. This man is
Well,
a
I mean,
monster.
that's not saying much. I mean, look, I love Toby as
Yeah.
much as the next guy. Toby's my favorite Spider-Man of all time. Probably will always be that. But let's be honest, that black suit shit. The best scene with Black Suit Spider-Man was when he was fighting Sandman like underground, that where that train,
Mhm.
the train was going through. Do you remember that fight scene in Spider-Man 3?
Yeah, of
Obviously, I'm
course.
sure you do.
Good riddance.
Where he's bashing Sandman's face up against the train,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like grinding his face down. What's the matter, Marco? Like, dude, that shit's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch that.
I really like that. And that's why, you said that we've seen this story said a lot of times. Well,
Mhm.
I say not enough. Up until this game, I wasn't really satisfied with how they've been portrayed because it's never been portrayed with, in a satisfactory way. I
Mhm.
think this game did that. Like now, after this game, I'm satisfied.
Mhm.
Because as you said, because the idea of that is this catharsis, right? Of like seeing Spider-Man actually getting what he wants, right? Actually acting on impulse, not being held back by morality and all that. The worst thing is that you obviously know that it's like a downward spiral for him.
Mhm.
But it's just so satisfying having him actually, deal some damage, like strike back to these assholes.
Yeah.
That you kind of start feeling like him, like, oh yeah, this is what I want. I want more of that. So,
Yeah.
and I never truly felt that in one of the adaptations of this game. Well, the Spectacular Spider-Man show did it pretty well, but it's very rushed. Like they rush a lot of that like in one episode.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's
yeah,
a
I
big
really
thing.
like what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. Yeah, that I really like the what they did with the Peter's downfall
Yeah.
in this game.
Well, that's good. That's good. So all in all, you really like this one. Would you say
I
it's
really
better than
like it.
Would you say it's better than 2018, or would you say about the same? What would you say?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you that gameplay wise is definitely better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that right now. Even in like in minigame variety, the minigame variety is great in this game. Uh, and so yeah, gameplay wise definitely. Story wise, I don't know. I think they're probably well. I think the ending of the first game got me better than the ending of this one.
Mm-hmm.
but it's like I don't prefer one over the other, honestly.
Right.
I like them a lot for I like them a lot for very different reasons. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll have to do another. Our next episode definitively will be
I
more
can't
story.
wait to talk about some things
So
about this game with you.
most important question of
Mm.
the stream, and then we'll call it here. What suit did you rep the most with Peter during your playthrough? I know a good bit of the suits. I know a good bit of them, so it's okay if you spoil a suit. It's not that big of a deal. Which suit did you rep with the most with Peter and Miles? I know Miles is like your side piece, but what suit did you rock?
No, actually, here's the thing. In this game, I liked Miles' selection of suits way better than like Peter's. There's like maybe maybe 8 out of the 40 suits that I really liked on Peter. And my favorite one was the Superior Spider-Man with their color palette swapped black.
Oh,
it looks fantastic. I love it.
Mm-hmm. So is that the one you've been rocking with the most?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Good deal. I've been using the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, Andrew's.
Oh, you like that one?
Yeah.
I prefer Amazing 1, honestly, myself.
I like that one too. A lot of people hate that one. I really like that suit too. I agree. It's kind of
you know what I love.
Different.
I like when the eyes are like yeah. It looks like something that a guy would make in his basement. Especially with the eyes, right? Not being those white eyes, but being like lenses.
Yeah.
I really like that detail. I think that's why I like a lot of the palette swaps that change the color of the eyes. Like as soon as it's a darker color, I like it much better.
Yeah. Yeah, my second favorite suit right now, and I haven't unlocked a lot of them, but my second favorite Peter suit is probably the it's the trademark suit for the game for this Spider-Man 2. I didn't realize how washed out Spider-Man 2018 suit was until you look at it compared to this one. But anyway, I was using the original Spider-Man suit that for the game, and I color swapped it where I put the blue. The blue was the mask and the shoulders, and then the rest of it was red. And I was like, it feels weird because Spider-Man is usually red dominant and then blue accent. But I will say I was repping like a mostly blue suit for a little bit there. Yeah, I liked it. Not the baby blue. It's kind of like a it's a darker blue.
Like a dark. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I couldn't get into a lot of the color swaps, but I'm really glad. I think it's a very cool addition to make like the variety of suits more noteworthy. I like it a lot.
Yeah, because you got like 60 some suits, but then like with being able to color swap them, it makes it seem like there's more content. Even if
there really
not.
is, and but different colors really make a difference for some suits.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
I will say last thing I'll say is I got the deluxe edition. When I saw the trailer, I was like, all right, let me get this deluxe edition, see what these new suits are. Trash. That's all I'll say.
That's why I didn't get it.
Absolute trash. They're so bad. They're not good at all. I mean, they look kind of interesting, but I'm never gonna wear them. Like, it's just like, why? I don't understand this tribal shit. Like, what the hell is that? My Peter Parker's not wearing that shit.
Exactly. There's like one, and like they all have like fucking capes or something. Who is this, Batman? What is this
dude.
shit?
Hey, but those cape physics look damn good though. I will.
They
say
do.
That.
No, I can actually eased up on the cape or the cape outfits. I don't understand why there's so many of them. Like the hoodie ones, I hate the hoodies.
Yeah.
Like why?
Yeah.
Like it's such a Gen Z thing. I hate it.
Yeah. So is that the same thing like with the Scarlet Spider, right? That's he's the one with the hoodie, right? He wears the hoodie and he's got like he just has one base color in his suit, but then wears the hoodie.
Yes, yeah.
Is that like this? Right. But he doesn't wear his hood up though; it's down. Is that?
Yeah, that's better. That's slightly better. I accept Scarlet Spider.
Yeah. Well, it's good because I like that one. I was repping that one for a little while, but then I don't know. I like that traditional Spider-Man look. I don't like the suits. I know where this show is going on and on, dude. But I like the suits that look more like Spider-Man. I don't like the ones that look mechanized. I just got a weird thing about that.
I
don't
hate
like
the metal
mechanized
ones.
suits.
I hate it too.
dude.
No,
I
I
don't
agree.
like the one I'm
Yeah,
wearing.
that's not Spider-Man.
The one I'm wearing right now for Miles is it's not like mechanized, but it kind of has like it looks like it has armor plating on the arms, but he's like a
I know what you're
maroon.
talking about.
He's kind of like a maroon color Spider-Man. Like he's like I did the color palette where it made his suit like
Mhm.
a dark red or like a maroon look, and then it has the armor. I'm like, okay, that looks okay. That's probably the most I'm going because everything else I do
Mhm.
not like. I don't like the suits where it's like a helmet with like an electronic face.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that too. Yeah.
People were saying like this is my favorite suit in the whole game. I'm like, what? That's
It's
your
like this
favorite suit?
trashy suit.
Man, y'all are a bunch of trash, man. Just keep it
No,
cool,
honestly,
man.
and what I said about like Superior Spider-Man being my favorite, there's one thing I hate about it, and it's the spider on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Because it protrudes. It's like a big metal emblem, and I hate it. It's the one thing that I hate about it. But like, I like the front so much that I endure it.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't unlocked that one yet. I don't have. I know the black Toby suit is in the game when that is available. I will be wearing. I will be wearing.
Like Toby's suit.
I probably will be wearing that one.
That was
You know?
awesome. There's
Yeah.
also the classic black suit.
Oh, like the original, like
the original, like the
Yeah.
very first.
ooh,
That's that one's cool too.
yeah, man. They do a good job. Insomniac is goaded.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's all we got for it right now. We'll do an
I
episode
agree.
30, episode 36. I think we'll do a Spider-Man 2 story episode. I feel like we have to at this point. I'm hoping to have the
Definitely.
game. Hopefully, I have the game done by then. If not, me and Jan we'll talk about what our next show, what it's looking like. But let's shoot for that. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Deadhead Podcast. We had a good time. It felt good just to release. I've been so busy. So Jan, thank you for obviously being a great host as usual, coming on the show.
Happy
I know
as
it's late.
always.
I know it's late for you over there, but I appreciate the dedication to the show. I know you really love doing this with me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming and watching us. I thank you for the 100 subscribers. We're now up to 126 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So thank you. Feel free to like, subscribe some more. We'll have more content for you, more podcast episodes in the future. And if you like Spider-Man, you're about to get a whole lot of it. I'm planning to do another Spider-Man 2 First Impressions. I'll do a video as like a sidekick to this podcast episode. And then with our next episode of Deadhead Podcast, we'll come strong with complete story spoilers for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. So with that being said, Jan, do you have anything else you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
Play Spider-Man 2.
That's good. That's real good. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I'd say listen to that. Yeah, play Spider-Man 2 and then come back and watch us in a couple weeks from now, and we'll talk about the story. And then we got some really good games coming out this year, so we'll have some good conversations in the future. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Stay dead, my friends.